This week on the Droids, is George Lucas back? Kathleen Kennedy out? Chris has all the details. No matter what you think, Chris is going to tell it to you straight with a hot and fresh. Oh, and also Lando, the Calrissian Chronicles. Is it going to happen? Will we have Donald Glover back in the role? Plus a new Star Wars movie. When will we see the next one in theaters? Or will we ever return to the theaters? All that and so much more this week on the Droids.
That was a good one.
Welcome back to the Droids You're Looking For, a Star Wars podcast. Alongside Chris, Ryan, and Sam, I am Mike. Pleased to be back with you, and there is no absence of news. I think we have to start with the most important bit of all of this. Chris, tell us about these things you heard in the subway tracks from maybe a miscellaneous creature.
All right, so a website is reporting that an anonymous YouTube video is reporting that George Lucas is coming back. Do I believe it? You bet I do. Is there any sources? Not really.
You heard it. You heard it here third, folks.
Exactly. We want to be the first podcast to tell you the news in case it does happen. I feel like we're just doing due diligence. If it did happen, then yes, we believed it all along. But up until that point, we don't believe that at all.
Many websites are saying that some YouTubers do think that lots of people believe, many people believe that George Lucas is coming back. Many people say it, many people believe it, and it's being reported on many websites.
You know, I heard it was person, woman, Lucas, camera, TV.
You know what? This might have just been some kind of weird thing that I Googled. And
guys, that full quote,
person, man, woman, TV,
I read
camera?
the full quote in the New York Times to Rachel. I was like, listen to his entire quote from this interview about person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Good news is that we all remembered it, so we're cognitively okay as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Most people, many people can't do it. Many people find it impossible.
That's also our spin-off podcast.
Just because, listen, I heard it once, and I know it's race car, camera, TV, lady,
exactly.
Tone. Guys, speaking of hot and fresh, just got a text. Our pre-order for Tenet tickets are ready. We're going next Friday. They decided to open it in theaters. Chris Nolan said, "Safety and health be damned, Warner Brothers. If you want me around, you're going to put it out right now."
Oh, no. Ryan, you're talking about going to it on Fortnite, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna log into Fortnite, and it's gonna be playing in the moon.
They actually made a Tron situation.
You live stream it. You live stream Fortnite to your phone.
Yeah,
but it's vertical. It's like a Quibi.
Yeah. Somehow Tenet is in theaters.
I made this joke on the text thread, but is there an outdoor IMAX that exists somewhere, like an amphitheater? There's got to be one somewhere,
I feel like there
right?
has to be. Yeah. I think there has to be.
I think that Warner
screen.
Brothers could probably make their money back on that hypothetical situation.
Right, on one screen. That's all you need.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Christopher Nolan doesn't care if no one sees it, as long as the people who do see it in a theater and are in massive danger to
I'm
their
afraid
health.
if it's like an IMAX, he'd run up and start, like a drive-in IMAX, he'd run up and smash the windshields of everybody to say, like, you can't have this layer in between you and the screen.
I'd be afraid that he'd say that, like, oh, you can't listen to this audio because it's not exactly how I intended it to be heard. I can't wait for them to release Tenet on everyone's phones.
Well, it will be there someday, despite whatever Nolan wants. It will happen eventually.
Oh
In Paris, there is a new movie theater being built in the next 8 months that looks exactly like the Galactic Senate in the prequels, where everyone has their own.
Great time.
OMA, right?
Yeah.
Great time to be investing in movie theaters. Great time to be investing in building movie theaters.
These are socially distanced, where you have your own little swivel box, the one that E.T. had in the prequels.
Speaking of which, we'll be moving the Droids pod into print publishing instead. We're going to be printing a magazine of the Droids pod, and it's going to be all about our theater-going experiences this year.
So that's it. It won't ever be
and
released.
It'll have some fun cartoons in it. It'll be like Greedo and Han Solo standing in front of the Falcon, and then one of them saying like, "I forgot to put the gas in." Just
How come after what I said it was complete silence, but Chris just kind of laughed?
Well, I was leaving the silence because I actually thought it was like there'd be nothing, so that's why it was a silence.
We were simulating what it would be like.
Yours was a thinker, mine was a stinker. That's why.
I would say, though,
I just don't want to watch a movie while we sit in a committee.
it brings up the interesting question to me. I don't know that we need to go through every one, but how many movies did anybody see before all this happened? I feel like, I only saw a couple, but were you in the teens before March?
The last movie I saw in theaters was Rise of Skywalker.
The last movie I saw in theaters was on January 1st. I saw Little Women.
I saw... Oh, boy. I was really running up. I think the last movie I saw in theaters was Sonic the Hedgehog. I was going like twice a week.
You did. I mean, right before they announced a shutdown, you basically like rushed to the theater.
Yeah. I could see the light. I knew that I had to get it all in. So
Did you see Bloodshot?
I did not see Bloodshot.
I kind of want to rent Bloodshot. Should we do can we do an ep on Bloodshot on the pod?
A little outpost on Bloodshot?
Yeah.
We still have to finish our Return of the Jedi live episode.
Yes.
We really do.
Yeah, we do owe the audiences that. And we do need to release
Wait, did
the
we
other
start
episode.
it?
No. I just meant we didn't finish our trilogy.
Ryan. We all watched it mutually.
Oh my god, that'd be devastating. I'm not even like joking about
You're like on the Facebook page. You're like, wait, what?
My god,
I saw 1917 in January, and that was the last thing I saw in a theater. But all right, let's get into the news.
The
Lando.
last thing you saw in a theater was a gimmick, huh?
Ooh.
I would say.
I bring the hot takes.
I do
Speaking
the
of
hot and fresh.
I'll be the one who says 1917 wasn't that good.
I don't.
Also,
disagree.
it wasn't one take.
No, it wasn't one take. It was maybe because I knew what it was, but it was so clear when they were cutting. It was so obvious. It was like,
you mean
what?
when 15 people walked in front of the camera and it went black for a second?
Yes. Oh no, there's a wagon going by and it has dead horses in the back. I think they cut here.
Everybody, it's the first rule of editing: cut on a dead horse.
That's where that phrase comes from. This is probably just as substantiated as Chris's rumor, but Donald Glover is returning for Lando in a Disney Plus series. No reputable outlet has confirmed this. I haven't seen it from anybody except for maybe some fan sites, which we all hope this happens, but it doesn't seem like this is a reality yet. Hey, I'd love it. I want the Calrissian Chronicles. I'd love it if every episode started with Billy D. Williams voicing it over, looking at a hologram of him describing what he did, and then you show it in an adventure episode.
This could be my show with Lando and Han sitting on the porch.
Yeah, there it is.
Reminiscing about their old days.
Yes.
Secondhand Landos.
Secondhand Landos. There it is. You know what? I want Haley Joel Osment in this one, too.
I would love Haley Joel Osment to get into the Star Wars
biz. No lightsabers?
He belongs in Star Wars, to be honest. I think he should be in there.
Did everybody watch The Spoils of Babylon?
Oh my god! Categorically, no. Not everyone watched The Spoils of Babylon.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, go. All right,
well, that's my recommendation.
No, you know what, Sam? Sam, go on. This is the Spoils of Babylon cast.
All right. Well,
go on. What were you going to say? Was he on it?
I thought it was funny. He's in it. It's really good. You guys should watch it. But or not, because I'm an idiot. I'm a big doo-doo head.
No, Sam, stop it. Don't say that. We're all having fun. That being said, I'm never going to watch it.
It's poodoo, Sam.
Well, it's a family show. Don't be talking about doo-doo heads.
On that note, any other thoughts about Lando? I feel like we've talked about the idea of a Lando movie. We've talked about the idea of a Lando series. I think we're all on board. We all want this to happen.
Would you want... this goes back to the question. Do you want a movie or do you want a series?
I'd take either with Donald Glover as Lando.
I'd want a movie more than a series.
I'd
to be honest,
strangely prefer a movie as well.
Interesting.
I'm not just saying this to make it up to Sam by agreeing with him. But I do agree. First, I don't know why though. I couldn't say exactly why.
Ryan,
I agree.
have an
Ryan, I'm
here.
so glad. They could call it The Spoils of Babylon. It could be a movie. They could have Haley Joel Osment. You're right.
Geez.
This is great.
If I could go one conversation without him bringing up Spoils of Babylon.
Ryan, I have an envelope here, post-dated 2017, and it says, I want the next Lando thing to be a movie, and it's from you. So that's how we know you weren't lying before.
Are you tired after walking that long road?
We know you're not secondhand lying.
The only reason that I'd want a movie is if that's what actually gets Donald Glover to do it. I find it unlikely with everything that he does, I mean, very different times now, that he'd have time to do...
Yeah, who's doing anything?
Who'd have time to do a series. Well, look, if you're all in the volume doing a Disney series and you're 6 feet away from everybody, it doesn't matter. You could do
He
it.
set it up in his living room. He could shoot the whole thing himself.
I would be interested if he had any level of creative control. Because he's shown himself to be a very interesting and prolific artist on a lot of levels. And it would be, I would be curious, like, hey, you kind of got burned by us releasing a subpar movie at the worst possible time, and nobody saw it, and you're not getting a sequel. So here's what we want to do. You were great. You were universally loved. We're going to give you 6 episodes. Run wild. Like, hire who you want to hire.
Give it to him and Hiro Murai.
You're right. You should give it to
That'd be
the two of them.
amazing. If him and Hiro Murai ran the show.
And it's
Kathleen
not like...
Kennedy did mention during like the release of Solo, she was like, "This won't be the last we see of Lando." She like even
but that was before she was replaced by George Lucas.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry.
And
that
it was before the movie
before The Rise of Skywalker came out with Lando in it.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I think people are like, oh well, then they'd want to do maybe a more adult take on what Lando is. I'm like, you know what? Everybody has that soft spot for what they saw as a kid. You could make an interesting, unique, new kind of show that is directed towards the 12, 13-year-old audience and have it be still in the mold of what those two want to do. I think that people are like, oh, well, this is what they did with Atlanta, so they're going to do Atlanta and Star Wars? That's not how creative people work.
I think that they should... I think that they should do a movie... I think they should do a Disney Plus series where Lando is like just like kind of a wet noodle smuggler, but then he finds out he has cancer and he starts cooking meth. Space meth. He's kind of an anti-hero.
I think if they're saying they want a Lando movie that's a little more adult, I think they should make an adult movie that's a little more Lando.
Hey, there you go.
Here's the thing: Lando is a character that if you're going more adult, you got to look out. You know,
you really do.
Lando,
we might
he gets into some stuff.
A little too much out about Lando. I think what I always.
So Ryan, you want an adult film with Lando? Is that what?
and L3.
I'll say this. I wouldn't say no.
I want a Wire-esque take on Cloud City. I want to see his rise to political heights from going from smuggler to king of the town. I want a Sopranos type story where Lando figures out the supply chain, how to run and how to take over Cloud City. Because he won Cloud City in a bet. That's my guess.
Didn't they allude to that?
He won the whole city.
I
don't know. I feel like he might have beat some corrupt mayor in a
well, then he like.
I feel like it was the kind of thing where he showed up and they were like, "Are you the mayor that we sent for?" And like he was like, he had seen that mayor's ship explode, and he was like, "Yes, that's me."
That's me. And he had the cape and everything to go with it. So I'd love to see that. Oh, are you talking about like a Dave situation?
Yes.
Or like they hadn't seen the mayor that they had sent for, and he knew that he was dead, so he just took on his
exactly.
Or it's just the mayor.
Not like Dave.
The mayor of Cloud City looks
like
just
Dave,
like
but...
Donald Glover, and so they're quick.
Donald Glover is like the mayor's double who like cuts ribbons at supermarket openings and rides pigs in.
No, he's riding a blurg. He's riding a blurg.
Yeah. Well, but in Dave, there is a scene where he rides in on a pig.
Oh, I know.
That's true.
Believe me, the moment you brought it up, I was like, oh yeah, instead of pig, it's a blurg. That's the joke I'm going for. It's all about blurgs.
Welcome to the Klein cast, where we talk everything Kevin Kline. Well, I mean, Frank Oz did direct that movie, so it is related to Star Wars.
And it's a great movie. Frank Langella is also fantastic in that. He could have been a good Dooku.
God,
I don't know why he wasn't Dooku.
Wow.
He wasn't old enough.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, if you can get Christopher Lee,
enough. He wasn't.
They said,
enough.
"Hey Frank, are you able to hold a sword without being aided by anyone?" And he said, "Yes, of course." And they said, "You're too young."
They needed someone that knew Alec Guinness
to make it really work.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of our favorite character, Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor has the beard back, and he's back out there barbecuing some shrimp. Apparently, his daughter posted a photo of him on Instagram, and he's rocking the beard. It looks like it's fully grown in and ready to go, and he's also going to bring those shrimp cooking skills to Tatooine.
He's full of life.
Wait, is that your way of saying he's in Australia, or was he actually?
No, he was cooking some real shrimp. No, he wasn't in Australia.
He's not.
That's cool.
I mean, obviously he's lying. It's all part of a ruse that he's putting on. He's lied to us once before. There is no Obi-Wan show.
There never has.
Well, now that they got rid of Kathleen Kennedy, what I heard is George came in and was like,
yeah, I think we ended Obi-Wan's story. I don't think we're going to do this one.
And he canceled it. He canceled it all. He said,
I don't think this is what the fans want. I really know what the fans want.
Chris, you were brought up in the Disney series, Disney Gallery, where Jon Favreau is doing the behind-the-scenes of Mandalorian, and he has George on set, and he references, hey, look, we've got the same gun the Mandalorian or the Boba Fett had in the holiday special. And he's like, we kept it canon. That's canon, right? And George is like, I have nothing to do with that.
That was a beautiful moment. I feel like Dave Filoni set him up to fail. He's probably like, oh, you got to mention the gun to George. George loves the gun.
And then he's like,
yeah, exactly. And then Fav's probably on set being like, don't worry, Dave. I'll talk to George, not knowing that they're both.
Dave, I'll talk to George. We're equals, me and George. We're peers, and you are, of course, my Padawan. Which me having worked on Star Wars for 5 minutes, and you haven't worked on Star Wars for the better part of a decade.
Good Favreau.
I'll go talk to George.
And then they laugh, and then George and Dave call each other afterwards.
No, tell him about the gun, Favs.
Also, it was funny. Favreau did mention that he was jealous of Dave Filoni because Dave Filoni won a Daytime Emmy. And
Favreau did not.
So it was pretty good.
What was he nominated for? What was Favreau nominated for?
Was it
for a Daytime Emmy?
Yeah.
Was he on a soap or something?
Must have been on something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe a cartoon or something that he produced. I'm not sure.
Was it for
he
his
directed some of those episodes that Franco did.
Oh, what about the what was the show? What was the show with the power outage? That was the Lost Revolution.
Yeah, that was the one you
Jericho?
loved. Revolution, right?
Revolution. Yes.
But that wasn't
That's
daytime.
Right.
That would have been a primetime Emmy, though.
No, they put it on. They were trying to get people to watch it.
Ooh, the Giancarlo Esposito connection.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, that's how he must have... I bet Favs really loves Breaking Bad, though.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Do you think that Favreau likes the films of the 70s? I feel like he never brings it up.
Well, I think the Calrissian Chronicles will be an exciting series if it happens. There's been an announcement that, not surprisingly, that there was an expected new Star Wars film that we would get in. We're talking back in January. There was supposed to be a big announcement of course, this is when we're going to find out where they're going with their next saga films. Is it going to be connected in no way? Will it be Rian Johnson? Oh, it's not Benioff and Weiss. They're no longer a part of this. What's actually happening? 2022 was when we were supposed to get our new Star Wars film, which would have been the first time in 3 years following the Rise of Skywalker. That has now been pushed back to 2023. I'm surprised they didn't just say indefinitely. Why even put a year on it? Just say, we're not hitting the 22 release date. No one's going to mind. We're going to get a movie eventually. I don't know what, why they're doing that. But I do look forward to, the shareholders. I do look forward to the moment where they're going to all be like, the build up to this film, the extra time the writers had during the coronavirus situation is really
I can see
this
I can see the video.
Yeah.
I can see the "What Doesn't Kill Us Makes Us Stronger" song playing over kind of a highlight reel of.
They had an extra 2 years to figure out how Darth Vader could be the bad guy again. And I think we really nailed it. This is what the fans want.
What we really figured out in those 2 years is that it's not about the story that we want to tell. It's not even about the story that these characters want to tell. It's about the story that the fans deserve to hear.
The thing is that we know that people were mixed on Palpatine at the end of Episode 9, and we felt like he deserved a better outro than that. So we brought him back so that we could give him the ending that the fans deserve.
The Palpatine, it's always been a story of two families.
We decided that we didn't need this to be a talkie. After the 2 years, we just decided visuals was all we needed. And honestly, that's what they put out
sounds
there.
and visuals.
You find out that Palpatine's grandfather was a Kenobi.
You know what?
They're like, see, Rey was actually a Kenobi.
It's always been the story of 3 families.
Got to 2030. It's always been the story of 5 families.
One of them is a Twi'lek family.
Yeah. So you got the Calrissians, the Skywalkers, the Kenobis, the Palpatines, and the Cobblepots.
And the Jetsters.
That's after the WB acquisition.
And the Hutts.
You got the Waynes, the Kents, the Cobblepots, the Skywalkers, and the Kenobis.
And the Jetsters.
And now we're just into Patton Oswalt territory and what he did in Parks and Recreation.
He's just going. I think I hope Disney takes their time. I think it's not a terrible thing, especially that we've just had almost 10 years of just a constant stream. I mean, I can't eat bananas without seeing a little Star Wars sticker, Chris 2018.
I told you should peel them before you eat them.
Also, I need to stop putting my Star Wars stickers on my bananas before I eat them.
They're Lego bananas.
They're just as good, though. Just as healthy. They have that old banana flavor. I think taking a little pause is not a bad thing, though, for Star Wars. I think we could use a little breather. Let's get some of these TV shows. Let's get
how the world has changed, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I've said this
is
when
coming out.
No.
They're not doing it because they think it's a good idea.
I know that, but I think it's gonna be inadvertently a good idea. I was for waiting for. I think I've stated on this pod, and you can listen, review the tapes, that I thought they should wait 2 or 3 years before they do another movie and let the series fill that gap for a while.
I'm talking about Chris. We lived together for a lot of years. Yeah. I'm talking about we were together in the dark times.
Yep.
We were together in the betwixt and between of the prequels and the sequels. Yeah. And when they announced this, and we were going to get a Star Wars every year.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, tunes change, my man.
I know. I hear you. But I'm not saying end it. I'm just saying take a little breather.
Thanks for the invite, by the way, guys. No one invited me to live with you.
Wait, you didn't get that? Oh, no.
You guys should have invited me. I didn't even know you.
Are you guys quarantining together?
Wait a second.
No one's telling me.
All the droids are.
Let's get the volume. That or Disney, make a sneaky movie in the volume, and 1 year later, just release it out of nowhere.
They should call
on Disney Plus?
The Vault.
On Disney Plus.
They should call it The Vault.
I agree.
Maybe they'll release Tenet on Disney Plus.
No, I really just want them to release it on people's phones. It'll come free like that U2 album.
That's good.
In our current state of
Apple
things,
should
though,
work out a deal. They should somehow find a way to steal it from Warner Brothers and release it on Apple.
If I had all the money in the world, I would buy Warner Brothers and then release it on people's phones.
The current state of things, though, I look at not being able to go to the movies for however long that is, whenever it's next year, no matter what it is. And the next time that we are all, in between the last few Star Wars movies, it was a given. We're going to see another Star Wars movie. We're all going to be back in the theater in a year and a half. We've got that release date. What's going to get in the way of that? And thankfully, we saw a lot of Star Wars movies, maybe unthankfully in 2019 that we saw a Star Wars movie. But we got to go and do all of that, and there's not one that was supposed to release this year that we're now missing. But the next time that there is a Star Wars movie in the theaters and we can go, we've been emotional as a group before watching Star Wars in the theater. I think I'm going to feel an even bigger twinge just being like, I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know when we're all going to have a chance to be together and watch a movie again.
Yeah. I mean, I think if there is a movie to bring movie theaters back when things are normalized and ready to go again, I think it is Star Wars. I think that's that has all the good feelings of being home. It has all the good feelings of being at a theater. I think.
Well, you bring up the point is that there's going to be some movies that are on the shelf right now that they're going to bring up right away, and they're not going to want to eat into that. But if there's a time where it's okay, now we've got a little bit of a a gap because we couldn't get production going again.
Retrospectives.
Put it all out there, and I mean, let's all go watch A New Hope, or some of it called Star Wars, on the big screen together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a phenomenal idea. I think
that's what they're doing at drive-ins. Empire Strikes Back was #1 at the box office last weekend.
It makes me wonder why why not all those movies? Why is it just Empire? But that's a whole different conversation.
It's a pretty good movie.
Why? It's a great movie.
The state of the Star Wars movie, but I think also the TV shows are going to fill that void for us. I think we'll be happy with that.
Oh no, I know. It just is the emotion of like being in a movie theater and what it means to watch a Star Wars movie.
There's a build up to a movie that we don't inhabit that we inhabit that when you're watching a TV show, you don't get excited for a TV show like you do a movie because it's not you're not participating like in the ceremony of going to the theater, buying the popcorn, buying the snow caps, buying the hot dog, the chicken fingers, the chocolate.
Clearly, you've never been around Sam on a night that The Big Bang Theory is on.
Bang. I think. I don't know. I'm excited to see what comes.
You
next.
guys can't see it, but there's steam coming out of Chris's ears right now.
I'm very excited. I love the idea of just anticipating a big pause and then seeing something. I hope parodies come out of this. Like I hope it goes back to that weird time.
Scary Movie 8.
Yeah, like I want a Minion Star Wars parody. I'm just putting it out there into the ether.
Well,
I want Craig Mazin to stop making Chernobyl, and I want him to go back to Scary Movie.
Well, he's making Last of Us, isn't he?
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
What about a Star Wars Lego movie? That's like a parody. That could be great.
That'd be great. I mean, there are a ton of like the TV ones.
Let's get the Family Guy Star Wars is back.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what it is? It's Simpsons. They own Simpsons now, so they could easily do a Simpsons like an actual
and
Simpsons
Family Guy probably too, right?
And Family Guy, yeah. But they've already done that.
Well, I mean,
I
think
do the Family Guy ones, Chris. Should we jump back into that?
Let me.
They also own every Fox. Like sitcom that's ever been. So Malcolm in the Middle Star Wars, Titus Star Wars.
That 70s show Star Wars parody. I think which they did like every year for like 10 years.
What's the most random sitcom that they was only on for like 3 episodes that they could turn into a Star Wars?
Head.
I mean, I already said Titus.
No, I didn't even hear Titus.
Herman's Head.
Herman's Head?
I'd like to see a Keen Eddie Star Wars, if anybody...
Yeah, Keen Eddie. The PJs Star Wars?
Baby Blues Star Wars.
All right, last bit of news. Taika Waititi has started writing his Star Wars movie, which we would maybe presume is the 2023 film, if that's the case. We've talked a lot about what Taika Waititi has done. I mean, great. Glad to hear that something's moving. It seems like that's progress. When can they shoot things normally? Don't know. Is he going to shoot a movie in the volume, or is he going to shoot a movie regularly? I don't know either. I would think
he is a guy that could legitimately just play every role and make the movie.
I would pay much money to see that.
I do think that there is this opportunity. There's got to be a big ramp up of animated content being made right now, right? They have to be putting in a lot of investment of like, we can do more animated stuff. This is what we could do.
Yeah. Right
now, maybe Pixar has like developed another team to be like, let's make a short, a bunch of shorts.
That is interesting. I wonder if Bad Batch came out of that. I feel like it didn't seem like an obvious choice to make the Bad Batch spinoff, just since they were so adamant about this being kind of the finality of the Clone Wars. I wonder if that was something that was in the cards, kind of a back burner project, and now they're like, all right, well, now's the time to make it.
Could be. I mean, that's a good thought. I don't know. I'm so excited for Taika's take, and I'm excited for like, well, kind of all elements of it, but I'm especially excited when it gets far enough to like when they start talking casting and we start seeing like who he's pulling from his roster. I feel like he's someone who has not only like access to some incredible talent and like experience working with great people, but I feel like he's also that type of director who is on such a streak right now that it's like everybody's going to want to work with him. You know, he's where JJ was 5 years ago, maybe, you know, where it's like or even 8 years ago, like as like I know he's not like a kid, but it's like, he's still on that like still early-ish upswing of his directorial career in a really exciting way, which I just think like who's he going to bring in? And he's been really, I don't know. I think he utilizes people in really interesting ways, and he like honors people he's worked with before. So I'm excited to see who ends up in Star Wars who hasn't been before.
Probably a lot more comedic actors than have been before. I mean, there's obviously been lots of comedy in Star Wars, but, you know, bringing in Adam Pally and Jason Sudeikis for an opening 5-minute sequence in the finale of The Mandalorian, you can imagine there's going to be a lot more of that comedy in his movie, which you could get some castings that you would have never anticipated before.
Do you think he's going to do, I mean, my assumption is that it will be very comedic. It'll be like what we get. I mean, is that what we're all expecting, or do we think like
I think they're going to tell,
he wants to do something different?
I think that he's going to play it the way he's played Hunt for the Wilder People, the way he's played Jojo Rabbit, where it's a lot of comedy with the heart in there as well. Like, he's going to play some serious dramatic moments because they're going to want it to hit on that level, I think. It's not, you want to walk away with a lot of Star Wars of like, oh, you're reeling me in with the comedy, but I also have the heart for who these characters are. And he's been done a good job with that, and I think that's what they want from him. So I don't think he's going to go flat out. Like, it's not going to be Thor Ragnarok. I mean, you care about Thor Ragnarok, you care about the characters in that, but I think his other movies have done better by that portion.
I hope he just doesn't get disenfranchised the same way Lord and Miller did, where they're like, we're going to try this.
Oh, no.
Ryan muted Chris.
Oh, no.
It's all right. The audio track, though,
I didn't mean
going.
to. How do I undo it?
Let's see.
I don't know.
Well, the audio track can still hear me, so our listeners can still actually hear me, which is not a big deal.
It's just going.
It's not a terrible deal. It's not a bad deal because since we're recording this, the audience can still hear me, so they'll be able to hear me and what I said during that time, but they won't be able to hear
cut.
you. We can't
all.
cut because if we do cut, it'll be out of sync. So that's
I don't
great.
even know how I did it.
All of a sudden, I went to say my take, and Ryan's like, "Nope, too much power."
I don't even know how I did it. Also,
That's
I don't
hilarious.
think I'm in charge of the call.
That's hilarious. Well, now we know. I'm sorry, Ryan. What did you want to say? I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Chris, and audience, I'm keeping this in. So this is a
You
big
should have heard me.
episode.
It was great. Please keep this in. That was hilarious. I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, I hope that it would be really funny if you did it again. There we go. There it is. All right. Once again, to our members of the podcast, I was just muted again as I was
Ryan,
explaining
how did
my
I
take.
undo it?
Okay.
I don't know how I undid it. I
don't
didn't undo
think
it. I
I'm
think Chris
unmuted
had
quite yet. They can still hear me, so I'm going to do it again. Just between you and I don't know what they're doing. I kind of run the show around here. They're hitting
I
buttons.
assumed Ryan undid the mute.
Hey, and that's why I think that George Lucas is going to come back. I think it makes so much sense in retrospective. And I mean, I don't know why you guys agreed with silence, but I think you heard it here first.
What's really funny is that to the audience, this is just going to play as a bunch of people laughing over Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
never
not
cut out.
You're gonna hear your own. Yeah, you're gonna hear your own side of the conversation.
This is just so that I get excited to listen to the pod because there's parts I didn't hear yet.
Exactly. Oh, I don't listen to you guys when you speak. That's hilarious.
Why does this allow us to mute any person we want at any time?
In case you got some
I
loud
wish,
mouths
I,
on
wish
the
I knew how to do that at work.
Hey, there it is. Anyhow, I'm excited for this movie.
Well, I think that's going to do it for this edition of the Droids. We, of course, rate and review us on iTunes, droidspod@gmail.com, Twitter DroidsPod, Facebook The Droids Podcast, Instagram DroidsPod. Let us know. Check out Coping Mechanics Games on Twitch, as well as Chris and Ryan's new show, which is under the banner of...
It's still on Coping Mechanics,
Okay.
which is twitch.tv/CopingMechGames, and we're doing the show Then and Now, where we play retro games and their current day counterparts. This week we did Bushido Blade and Ghost of Tsushima, and it was we're having a great time.
It's a lot of fun. We got to do a Star Wars game. Why hasn't that been on
We've
the docket?
talked. I mean, yeah, we're probably going to do Super Star Wars and Jedi Fallen Order.
That's great.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
There you go. And then
Well,
you
check
can
that
also
out.
follow Ryan's playthrough of Jedi Fallen Order on YouTube. Be amiss if I didn't mention that, and Batman and James Bond.
Hey, there it is.
Spoils
We're all
of
excited.
Babylon.
We're all excited for the Snyder cut, right?
Of James Bond?
I'm excited for the Snyder cut
awesome.
of The Rise of Skywalker.
I want the Snyder cut of everything. Give him all of it and have him cut it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
Jeeves
joining us on the
best.
non-Snyder cut of this podcast. Actually, I think this would be the Snyder cut, right?
Yeah, I feel like it
would
is. It's something.
I mean, the contrast is all the way up and the saturation's all the way down.
That will do it for the Droids You're Looking For, a Star Wars podcast. We'll catch you next week.
What they throw. Annie?
You don't ever mute me. You don't ever mute me on this show ever again.